Hi there, I'm Mahibi, the C Coach, and welcome back to part one of the coaching approach to successful assignments. We're still in the pre-stage move and we're going to look at what a great outcome looks like. Okay, so far we've looked at the mental health pillar. We've also looked at how we can provide space for exploration. And in the last video, we looked at defining what was important and the next steps around that. And in this video, we're going to explore what a great outcome looks and feels like. So we have spent some time exploring the needs and how the employee can align those to the organisation and wider stakeholders across this journey. And if we take the general motivations of a standard assignment and we put our coaching approach hat on, we are curious to define what a great outcome looks like for the individual and how this shows up in different parts of the time frame. Or indeed, are they based around specific needs like self-development objectives, as an example? What we know from research studies is that there are various factors that are important to the individual. One is visibility, the second is career progression, the third is learning and growth opportunities, both in work and in life settings. And the assignment represents an adventure. There is a sense of excitement, and naturally with it comes anxiety and fear around uncertainty. So an important part in this pre-move stage is exploring those uncertainties and those fears, which are naturally going to arise at this point. It's natural that the individual is going to have some stresses, some anxieties, and by adopting this coaching approach, we are questioning what is real, what is doubt-based in limiting beliefs, and by challenging fears based in these limiting beliefs, we are supporting to find what is truth, reaffirming the person's self-esteem, their self-confidence, and potentially anything related to a state of mind of imposter syndrome. There could be thoughts at this point like, am I good enough? Do they know I'm a fraud? Am I worthy? By addressing how to navigate through uncertainty and rationalizing with action points, we are supporting a stronger and more resilient mindset. Those connections to mental health and well-being, if left unspoken, if left unshared, can have detrimental impacts to physical health, to mindset, to work performance, productivity, and can create wider impacts, especially when we're thinking about family and partner impacts. So by taking a coaching approach, we're looking after our people, but we're also supporting indirectly the family, especially the partner, who will take on a lot of stress and anxiety quite naturally in this process. To deal with uncertainty, a good approach is to investigate the unknowns. And this brings to light the reality and the truth of the situation. Rather than letting our mind fill in the story, we actually instead fill it with facts, knowledge, and information that's based on truth. So part of the coaching approach is to take the focus away on the overall uncertainty and scary situation ahead, even if it does feel really exciting, and to set action points based in reality or seeking truth and reality. These can be delegated to people inside or outside the business, or indeed accountable by the person. But by setting these action points, we are providing space for the individual to take control of the situation, be accountable and have ownership for their life decisions. And allowing an assignment to just happen passively can severely impact a person's mental health, especially where they're already vulnerable, or they might be going into a vulnerable assignment, or they've experienced, mental health issues to date, or indeed, this might be a scenario where we have an already confident, self-assured individual, but we allow a period of self-questioning, self-doubt. And these could just be based on fears, anxieties that are not based essentially in truth. Here in this point, we're really looking at what a great life outside of work would look and feel like for a person. This isn't just purely career progression. This may or may not directly be supported by the organisation. And the needs has to start with the person. They need to take action to create a lifestyle that feels good for them, that feels like home, that they enjoy. However, there is an opportunity here for the organisation to be a proactive support to the individual. They could provide information on the local community, events, meetups, connect to other expats in other organisations. So we're really here putting into practice the social part of corporate social responsibility. So next we're looking at what a great outcome is for the person and being able to distinguish what's good for the person and what that would look and feel like in reality versus what the expectations of the organisation are of what a great outcome might be. These two could be very different, and the latter is also connected to how the person might believe they are being perceived or need to be perceived. If we know what a great outcome is and we've explored that, then this is reflected in objectives. It's tangibly connected to the overarching goals of the assignment. We minimize room for self-doubt, and what we are doing is also addressing this aspect or this thought of we're not good enough. Lastly, the reiteration is around setting objectives. Here we're creating a dual alignment to both home and destination functions, ensuring that there's clarity of the goal right from the outset. And ideally, a great outcome means staying connected to home teams, home function, creating value for them, sharing best practices, learnings, new processes, creating stronger connections cross-functionally, or perhaps even creating value whilst on assignment, like extending client accounts out globally. Having a home connection is key to successful repatriation, and we are already planning for it at this stage. And the second part is the objective to destination functions, so that we can focus on hitting the ground running. We see the value that we are creating right from the outset once we reach location, and it can be tangibly measured. These objectives reflect our desires, our career path, our progression, our self-development, our growth, our opportunities. And with our coaching approach, we are shining again the light on all parts of the process. And it's about that connectivity, not taking each part consecutively in terms of planning. So we come to putting our coaching approach hat on and looking at some reflective questions. Grab your pen and paper. Firstly, without the role of an external coach, how are you safeguarding mental health challenges around mindset, imposter syndrome, and self-worth? Secondly, what information is readily on hand to present to the individual related to parts of the process, and who is going to take responsibility to acquire that knowledge? How does social responsibility form part of your current policies to support social integration and creating social connections on arrival? What processes are in place to support objective and goal setting, both connected and related to home and destination functions and teams at this pre-move stage? And coming to our usual questions, how is this built into your current policies and what's missing? What can easily be integrated, your quick wins to support the employee, and what needs to be amended, requiring wider collaboration from the business and potentially sign off? I'm Mahibi. We have finished point 4, a great outcome of part 1, key considerations pre-move. And in the next video, we will be looking at the role of the coach and the corporate sponsor.